Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Splash Sisters. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Mev.
And we're really excited to be talking about what happened in the NBA this week. Mev, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you, Hannah?
I'm not doing great because, as you can see, Melo is decapitated. He's literally
Feetless.
dead.
And I'm sorry about that again.
It's not okay. It's not at all. You better get me some hot glue gun, and this better be fixed ASAP. Because he's literally the star of the show, and now he's literally just like dead on the desk.
Honestly, I'm glad that happened.
What? See, and now that sorry you just gave me went out the window.
Anyways, how do you feel about the league in general now?
I'm honestly just really excited for the playoffs, and I think it's going to be like the most interesting playoffs we've seen in so long.
I think so too, because there's just so much room for teams to go on runs that like you don't even expect. Like even like teams like the Kings, even the Knicks, the Bulls, like all these teams.
I'm glad you agree.
Runs. All these teams can go on runs, and it's just gonna be the. My prediction is it's gonna be the best playoffs in like since LeBron. What year was it?
2018. No, 2020.
Well, 2018 LeBron too, but since the bubble, I like the bubble playoffs.
Honestly, I didn't hate the 2021 playoffs because Giannis won, and he's one of my favorite players. But last year's playoffs was like a little. Remember there was blowouts like every game in last year's
playoffs was
and the finals was really bad too. Like the Celtics didn't even put up a fight. If we're being honest,
they literally just shit the bed. And the Warriors had the easiest path to the finals last year, and then the easiest finals. Like it was literally such a boring playoff series. I don't even care what anyone says. Last year's playoffs was bad. This year's playoffs is going to be 100 times better because the talent is like way better now than
the West. Like even like getting into the play-in is like going to be really hard. There's like the Lakers are out of the play-in right now because there's 4 teams that have the same record.
I know. The fifth seed and the 12th seed are only like 5 games apart. No, I mean 3 games apart.
It's if the Mavericks go on a losing streak, they're out of the play-in. That's how tight it is in the West right now. The East is not that top heavy, which is good for my Knicks, but outside of the top 5 teams in the East, it's no one else outside of that is scary. Unless maybe if the Hawks randomly start winning games, because I think the Hawks are like they do have a really good team. Their starting 5 is really good, and yeah, they're just really disappointing in general this year. Like Trae Young has on paper his best team. He has DeJounte Murray, and so many Hawks fans are not happy with him this year. They thought he would be a little better.
He's still having like a good season. I thought he should have been an all-star. But
who?
Trae Young.
Oh, Trae?
Yeah, but like I thought DeJounte and Trae Young were gonna be like this crazy duo, but like Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland are like way better. And like, there's so many better duos in the league. And everyone hyped up the Hawks trade so much just for like I don't know.
They're definitely making the playoffs, but they're just not gonna be. They're just a first round exit. Like there's no Eastern Conference Finals fairy tale that will happen this year, like it happened a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, because like in the East for me, it's mostly just like the Celtics, Bucks, and Sixers, and the Cavs. Those 4 teams are the only 4 teams who I see like making the Eastern Conference Finals or Finals. But then again, like it's gonna be the Bucks 100%, and then the other team, I'm not too sure who it could be.
It could be anyone too. Like we all know it's gonna be the Bucks, but the Celtics they've been playing very sloppy ball recently. Remember Grant Williams? they blew a 27 or 28 point lead to the Nets, and
did everyone forget
the game after that blew a 10-point lead like in the 4th quarter to the Knicks and lost to the Knicks without Jalen Brunson, and then everyone's like, and then they lost again. What team was that where he blew the 2 free throws? Oh, it was the Cavs. So they blew a big lead to the Cavs then, and then Donovan Mitchell was like trash talking Grant Williams. It was like, and then he ended up missing both free throws after saying he was going to make them. And I just feel like the Celtics are like a mess. But
yeah, like last year before the playoffs, they had that like momentum because they started winning games a lot. But now I feel like unless Tatum starts playing good again, they literally have like I don't think the Celtics can do it. I don't know, because Tatum's like shot chucking every game.
And Donovan Mitchell against Donovan Mitchell is lighting up the Celtics this year in their matchups. It's going to be so hard for them to stop Donovan Mitchell, and he's a better playoff performer than anyone on the Celtics.
That's true. I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup with Jalen, because Jalen's also a good playoff performer.
He is, but like there is so many inconsistencies that we see from them. But yeah, honestly, I kind of want it to be switched up. I don't want to see the Celtics again. Like, I'd rather see Philly versus Bucks. That would be so interesting.
I want to see Philly so bad because Joel Embiid's better than he's ever been. This is his best season yet, and he has Harden. He actually has some help on like.
And Harden's also having a really underrated season this year. Harden? Like, he's probably the best playmaking guard so far this season.
I mean, you know, I'm a Harden fan. Seeing him, like, he can also take over the game whenever he wants, and seeing him do that and is a pleasant sight. Also, like, him and Embiid are like top 2 best duo in the league in my opinion.
I've seen some tweets on the timeline on Twitter timeline, and they're like, Doc Rivers should get some consideration for Coach of the Year, and I was like, what is up with these fans? Like, you're like, on one hand, you want him prosecuted for his war crimes. On the other hand, you want him to win Coach of the Year. It's actually so funny, like how things switch up, like once a team is playing well, because then they're gonna go back to hating on him in a couple months from now.
The funny thing is, fans of every team are switching up after every game. Like, one game I love DeMar, one game I hate DeMar, and then one game Sixers fans are saying that Embiid sucks, and that how can we ever compare him to Jokic? And the next game they're like, Jokic.
I don't think any Philly fans have said that.
No, I follow so many.
Are you on crack? It was
one game where like it was a while ago, but I'm just saying in general, fans of teams just switch up all the time. Like Warriors fans.
That's true.
Like,
I would know with Julius Randle.
Yeah. One game I see Warriors fans hyping up Jordan Poole, saying he's amazing, this, that, and now they're all like, trade Jordan Poole. A lot of them are even saying that he's worse than Austin Reeves. Like, that's true. That is in the off season.
All Warriors fans would say is Poole is one of the best young players in the league. He's going to be a multiple time All-Star. He's the next Steph. And now they're saying that Austin Reeves is better
because Poole, he can't play with Curry.
He forgets how to play basketball with Curry. It's actually really bizarre.
This is what Poole is, like that friend who copies everything you do. Like, they just turn into you. Like,
why do you always do those? Like, LeBron is like that teacher. Poole is like that friend. Like, no, saying.
Listen, this is my best one yet. Poole is like that friend who copies everything you do, and then they just can't thrive without you. Like, they need you to succeed.
They need to copy their test answers off of you.
Yeah, like, because Poole, he wants to be Curry so bad, but like Curry.
But you can't play like Curry when Curry's in the game. Like, you can't take these like uncontested 30-footers when Curry's there, because Curry will be doing that and he'll actually be making them.
Yeah, because when he's not playing with Curry, he plays just like Curry. He shoots just like Curry. But when Curry's on the court with Poole, Jordan Poole forgets how to play basketball, and it's actually hilarious. And that's why Austin Reeves is better. He impacts the game. His defense.
Austin Reeves has really been impressing me.
His hustle is better.
He's like Jordan Poole. He's like one of those perfect role players that you get. Mm-hmm. And the Lakers have so many of them too. They have Vanderbilt and Reeves who can do that for you.
Yeah. The Lakers, I'm really high on the Lakers. Like, I'm not high on the Warriors at all. Like, I switch up a lot, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not switching up anymore. Like, the Warriors, I just don't think they'll make it far.
The league is so happy that LeBron is not playing right now, but the Lakers are still playing great without him.
I mean, yeah, the Lakers are. What's the record right now? Like, I think they only lost 2 games.
They're 8-4. They're 8-4 since the trade. Geez. They've been the best defense in the league since the trade, and they've won like 7 of their last 10 games, I think.
Yeah, and even there was one game where like AD played like shit. He had 8 points, but the Lakers still beat I think it was the Grizzlies. They still won. Like,
yeah, and AD they could have beat the Knicks too if AD played well, and AD had a bad game. We defended him really well.
Yeah, so like LeBron's not playing, AD plays like garbage, and they still win. You could not say that about the Lakers last year. You just couldn't. Like,
their defense is legit too.
It's scary,
and they're very deep. Like, there was one game where their bench had like 70 points in total. Like, what?
This is finally for LeBron fans. This is what we all been waiting for. He has
But
help.
like we mentioned before, the play-in is so tight that the Lakers need to win these games. So if LeBron comes back, they're in a good spot.
Yeah. Also, like LeBron's obviously injured. Do you think that when he comes back, like LeBron's gonna be just as good as he is, or he's just gonna have?
I think now since he has help, he can coast a little. He doesn't have to carry offensively. He doesn't have to drop 30 points in every single time, which is a good thing. But the Lakers still need to put themselves in that position. If they fall out of the play-in, which the play-in, like we mentioned before, is so close, that's going to be a huge slap in the face because they do have that talent now, and they've proven that they can win. But I really hope that LeBron comes back. They get the 7th or 8th seed, obviously, in the play-in, because I don't think they'll become the 6th seed unless the Clippers or Warriors start losing a lot more. So I hope they get that 7th or 8th seed, because if they get the 7th, I think they'd probably go against the Grizzlies or the Kings. But if they get the 8th seed, they go against the Nuggets. And Paul Pierce actually said that if the Nuggets end up going against the Warriors or the Lakers in the playoffs, that they'd lose. Do you agree with him?
I'm not, like I said, I'm not that high on the Warriors, but I still think like that they have potential to make like the second or third, like the second round at least. Like they can definitely beat the Nuggets. The Nuggets are second round exits.
For me, I feel like the Warriors, if they don't get Wiggins back, that they're not beating the Nuggets in the first round. Because Wiggins is their second best player and their best perimeter defender, him or Draymond, and he was so good in the finals last year. He literally locked down Jason Tatum, and you need that kind of player on your team. And no one knows his situation, and he's been gone for a while, but they really do need Wiggins back because the ball that they play without him is so sloppy. And like they almost lost to the Bucks without Giannis, and they Curry went crazy, scored like 16 points in the last minute or something, and they ended up winning. And Curry can't do that every single game. The rest of the team needs to show up, and you really need your second best player in this instance, especially against the best team in the West.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind, like,
but the Lakers, though, I think the Lakers do beat them. Well, if we know LeBron's coming back, that's the thing. We know LeBron's coming back, but we don't know if Wiggins is coming back. But LeBron's coming back to a very good team, so if they do versus the Nuggets, I do take that star power over the Nuggets.
The Nuggets, the only reason why I agreed that the Nuggets won't beat the Warriors is if they're stacked. But if the Warriors don't have Wiggins, they're not.
But it depends. You never know. Like the Nuggets could end up choking.
They're not. The Nuggets are not choking to Wigginsless Warriors. They're just not. But the only way, if Wiggins does play and Gary Payton II comes back, the Nuggets are not beating the Warriors. Because,
and I don't want people to think
Nuggets have the better defense.
I don't want people to think we're overrating Wiggins, but we saw how good that man is. He is easily the second best player on the Warriors.
Yeah, he played amazing
because
in the finals last year.
You never know which Clay you're gonna get. But Clay's been so good this year. But you never know what Clay you're gonna get. You never know what Draymond you're gonna get. You never know what Poole you're gonna get. But Wiggins is very consistent.
But if they're all like on crack, like they were last finals, Draymond, he people forget how good Draymond was in the finals last year. He locked up like every player. Draymond locked up. He played amazing. The only person who didn't play as good was Clay, but Clay, like you just said, is better now than he was last year, like way better. So the Warriors are scary, but I just don't think they have enough star power that they did last year.
Yeah, prayers out to Wiggins. No one knows what's going on with him, but I really hope everything's okay with Wiggins and his family.
Yeah, and if it is something serious, I see a lot of bad Warriors fans. I separate Warriors fans by the nice Warriors fans and the evil Warriors fans. And the evil Warriors fans are like saying, "Oh, like he doesn't care about the Warrior." Like they're
a lot of them are very out of pocket right now. They don't even know what he's going through, and they're saying
like you literally like
for not playing.
Yeah, like you won a championship last year. Like let Wiggins stay home. If it's a death of his, say like his dad died, he shouldn't come back at all. Not even for the playoffs. Not even for the playoffs. But yeah, so
yeah, for me. But do you think the Grizzlies are the 3rd seed right now? Right? They don't have Ja Morant right now. Do you think they have a chance to make it to the Western Conference Finals?
See, like Jaren Jackson Jr. is obviously when Ja's not there, he is their best player. He anchors the defense tremendously. Like they've won games,
and he is the defensive player of the year favorite right now.
Definitely, and they've won games just based off his defense. So, but they're when Ja doesn't come back, do you think they're gonna make it far with Trey Jones? Like, no.
Trey Jones is like one of the best backup point guards in the league, but obviously in the stacked West, no. And I think Ja will come back, but even with Ja, I feel like when Ja said he's fine in the West, he's really not fine in the West.
He said that
so
when he
many
was
teams,
playing.
like I even think the Kings are better than the Grizzlies. Like I'm taking the Kings over the Grizzlies.
The Kings.
Yes, the Kings. I am so high on the Kings. The Kings are so good.
The Grizzlies have one of the worst half court offenses in the league, and then the Kings have the best offense in general in the league. So I see what you're saying there.
But then the Grizzlies have the best defense in the league, I think, right now. I know they were first in defensive rating a couple days ago, but I'm not sure. That just shows how good Jaren Jackson Jr. is defensively. Like that man is on a different level this year. But yeah, I feel like the Kings and Grizzlies, the Kings offense is just so incredible.
Yeah, like Domantas Sabonis is having a career year.
So is Fox.
So obviously Fox, he's a first time
Fox is
All-Star.
something else.
But like I did not expect for the Kings to like fit in this well. Like they have the best chemistry in the league, in my opinion. And
yeah, for me, and also their coach is just so good. Like I saw this post game interview with Mike Brown, and it was it was the Kings versus Knicks, right? And the Knicks, they still won the game, but he was still mad, and he was saying he was still taking accountability, saying that Fox and Sabonis needs to get more people engaged. That they'll take the win. He'll take the win, even though it wasn't the best win. And he was just like, that's what I love. You know that they went in the locker room, and he still told them things that they did wrong, even though they won. Like just because you win a game, that doesn't mean that you should be happy, because there's some games you should win without all these mistakes that you did.
I feel like that team is like in the putting up more shots even after games. Like that team is more in it, I feel like, than other teams. Because nowadays, I heard some interviews, people saying that players barely practice nowadays. Like there's barely any team practices, and that's why, like I think Paul George said that, right? Like you just can tell when some teams care more than other teams. You can just tell. Mm-hmm. And the Kings are one of those teams. And like I'm guilty of being one of the people who thought that the Kings lost the trade. Like when the Kings traded Tyrese Haliburton, I thought that the Kings
honestly, it was like 95% of people, because obviously everyone saw the upside of Tyrese Haliburton and how good he was, and was shocked that the Kings would even do that. Honestly, you could even say that the Kings won the trade even a little bit more, because they're literally the second seed right now. They have the highest offensive rating in NBA history. They have 2 All-Stars, and obviously Tyrese Haliburton was an All-Star, but in the future, I guess you could say we could see the Pacers winning it a little bit more, since he'll probably be like a multiple time All-Star because of how good he is. But honestly, if the Kings make the Western Conference Finals, I'll say that they won the trade.
Also, the Kings are like one of the youngest teams in the league. One of the youngest teams. Like they just need to pick up some.
Sabonis is like,
obviously they're lacking.
Is so good.
Yeah, like obviously they're lacking on the defensive end. But if they pick up some good defensive pieces in the offseason, they could definitely be a force to be reckoned with in the future. I don't think this is like a one season wonder.
The second you paired Sabonis with an elite point guard, you saw what a team can do, because he alone is so good offensively, but when you pair him with someone like De'Aaron Fox, that it just skyrocketed. He never had an elite point guard on the Pacers, and now since he has one, you see what a team that has that can do.
Yeah, so the Kings definitely are up
Can you
there.
see the Kings going to the Western Conference Finals?
Hell no.
Why not?
The Kings are like, don't get ahead of yourself.
They've shown that they can compete with anyone.
They've shown that they can outscore their opponents, but that's pretty much it. They can't stop teams from scoring, which you need to do. Like their defense just is not it. Like, I guess in the rim, who is their down low off ball center the whole entire time? Domantas Sabonis. Nobody is scared of Domantas Sabonis in the paint.
Yeah, I feel like that. Obviously, other teams are more top heavy, but I take them over the Clippers. I take them over the Grizzlies. I take them over the Lakers if LeBron isn't healthy. I take them over, honestly, every team in the West except for the Suns, Warriors, and Nuggets.
They wouldn't beat the Mavericks either. Healthy Kyrie.
I don't know. The Mavericks Kings just are not moving me. They're not moving me at all. Like, obviously, you have two. Like,
be for real. a team
be
with
for real.
a team with Luka and Kyrie. Say Kyrie or Luka
The
don't get
Kings
hurt,
are just deeper. The Kings are like way deeper than the Mavericks are.
That doesn't matter when you have two. Like Kyrie and Luka are clear everyone on the Kings just right there. And then the Mavericks are a pretty good team. Like they're not that bad. I think their defense is better.
Honestly,
than
I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying that like that matchup,
also,
the Kings could 100%
also
win.
The Mavericks still have some like playoff experience.
Sabonis would give the Mavericks hell. He would give the Mavericks hell.
The Kings have no playoff experience besides like Malik Monk and
Monk.
Oh wait, no, Malik Monk. They literally lost in the play.
What?
He was on Lakers last year. For some reason, for a second, I thought they made the playoffs, but I just remember they didn't.
Sabonis gives you some playoff experience.
He's like the only one. I don't know. I don't.
It doesn't really matter, honestly.
I'm just saying, like, that the Mavs have Luka, who literally took the West on his own last year, like with his whole team.
That's why I'm honestly. That's
Kyrie,
why
who is a good playoff performer.
That's why I'd lean towards the Mavs, but I think the Kings are a better team. But just Luka obviously is a team, and then he has Kyrie with him.
Yeah, like you said, Luka alone is enough to like be a team. Like he'll literally drop like a 40-point triple double in the playoffs, just like that. So, and you have yet to see how.
And last year we saw what he did to the Suns.
Fox at the same time. Fox is like the most clutch player in the league.
And it's not even close.
He is his high IQ plays. Like
his speed is something else. Like, you cannot guard him in his speed, and just his playmaking, the way he gets all his teammates open and gets them all involved.
Yeah, we definitely can't count them out,
him and Sabonis are just like the perfect duo in that way. They're both of their playmaking is crazy.
Yeah, we can't count the Kings out, but I personally don't think they can make the deepest run. But anything happen.
And I do. So we'll go back to this. Whoever was right.
Okay, we will.
So Kevin Durant got hurt, and he's actually probably going to miss the rest of the regular season and the start of the playoffs, which is a huge blow to the Suns.
I know. It's like same with LeBron. Like you don't know how they're going to play when they come back. If they're going to impact their team as much, probably. But alone, they need that like those games where they can get their stuff get their shit together. Like just popping them right in the first round or second. Like KD is not supposed to come back until like after the first round of the playoffs. You can't just assume he's gonna be like he's 34 years old. Like he can't just come back and play like old KD used to. Like he's an old man. Like he's not an old man. But like,
yeah, for me, I feel like the good thing is that Devin Booker is still playing at a high level and he's been playing so well, and the Suns are still winning games. But the Suns fans can't expect KD to be 100% when the playoffs come around and still go against these West teams who are very good and like still win games. Like it's gonna go down to the wire in a lot of series. Depends on who they match up against. But I feel like the Suns still are a lot of people's favorites to win it all. But it's just a tough season. Like you get Kevin Durant from an injury. He literally just came from an injury. Plays 2-3 games, gets injured again. I don't know.
But at the same time, like 70%, 80% Durant is better than like 90% of the league. Just right there. So I think plus, like you said, Devin Booker is still playing elite.
Yeah, the good thing is that Devin Booker could take a lot of the pressure off of Kevin Durant, which is really good. And I really do want to like if the Lakers, since LeBron is my favorite player, if the Lakers don't get to the finals or whatever, I want the Suns to.
Nobody wants the Suns to, but I wouldn't mind seeing KD win a ring.
I want to see KD.
I'm not a hater.
I want to see KD win so bad, just because the Warriors fans, they discredit him any chance they get, saying he can't win, he can't do that.
It's not just Warriors fans; it's knowledgeable NBA fans discrediting him because he still needs to prove that he can win like on another team that's not the Warriors, in my opinion. But I really think he can.
He does not need to prove anything. Even without the championships, he was the best player in the league, one of the best players in the league, top 3 for like pretty much his whole career. He has so many all NBA teams, all stars. A ring doesn't make or break your career, in my opinion.
Agree to disagree, because at the same time,
it's the highest accomplishment. Obviously, it's the highest honor you can get, but he literally he is a 2-time winner. He was the Finals MVP twice. Like, what else do you want from him? Not
to win a
everyone.
ring on his own damn team. That's what we want from him. That's what most NBA fans want from him. He needs to win a ring on the Suns. And if it's not this year, it's okay. It can be next year. He's injured. He got injured twice this year. It's fine. But next year, I expect the Suns to win. I expect the Suns to win. They have the best, honestly, the best star power in the league with Devin Booker, KD. Chris Paul is kind of washed, but Ayton, they'll probably pick up some more pieces. I still think the Suns can make a deep playoff run this year, but we'll just have to see. Unless they choke in the first round, but I don't see that happening.
I don't know. I feel like people slander him about all the time is just. Yeah, I just feel bad.
Every player gets slandered. Stop babying KD. Like, he's not even the most slandered player in the league.
He is like top 2. It's him and LeBron, and it's like not even close after that. Like, no one gets hated on more than LeBron or KD.
Did you forget Russell Westbrook? Nobody's more hated than Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is the most hated player in this league. Ja Morant is now like one of the most hated players in this league. Dylan Brooks is one of the most hated players.
Dylan Brooks is hilarious. I don't know. I feel like he's good for our league. Because like you don't see a lot of people trash talking every single opponent. He literally doesn't care who hates on. Like,
he literally got in a fight with Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, like, of all people, like, Dylan Brooks is pure entertainment, and I love it. Like, he's probably bringing when he even go viral, he's bringing more NBA fans like to watch. He
even trash talk Luka, who was injured. I forgot what he said, but he was he's ducking me or something. And then Kyrie's like, oh, I can't wait to lock him down. Like, this is good.
No, I like Dylan Brooks' game. You literally trash talk Draymond, and then they played against each other, and he played like dog shit.
Honestly, if you like Patrick Beverley, you should like Dylan Brooks. Like, don't contradict yourself here. He's like this generation's Patrick Beverley.
Yeah, and like the rivalries in general, like, we need him. We need that Draymond Dylan Brooks rivalry, just like the Booker Luka one, and we just need more rivalries. It just makes the NBA more fun to watch. So that's why I just like Dylan Brooks and what he does. He's hilarious. He's literally hilarious.
It's just crazy how the Grizzlies were the most liked team 2 years ago, and now they're the most hated team.
I know. I saw
and it's literally just because of 2 players on that team that made the team so hated.
Yeah, like the biggest bandwagon ever when the Grizzlies started being good for Ja Morant. He became like one of the biggest names, jersey sales, everything. But now everyone hates him.
Honestly, I just couldn't defend him anymore after like he beat up a kid.
I just think
I don't know. He was one of my favorite players because he supported like a lot of WNBA games. He went to so many.
No, because like there was more to the story with the 17-year-old. I'm not going to defend anyone, but I don't want to talk about something I don't really know about. But at the same time, like Ja, a lot, like, people are out to get him now. He's just like TMZ buying footage of him in a club. Like, that has nothing to do with basketball. Nothing. Like, I don't want to hear any Ja Morant news anymore unless it's about basketball. That's it.
Yeah, I wonder when he's coming back. Anyways, that doesn't really like move me because they're still not a top 5 contender in my opinion.
Even when Ja was playing.
What is your list? Like, of your top 5 contenders list?
East or West?
Start off. Just do from both.
Okay, so from the East, I got the Celtics, Bucks, Cavs, Philly.
The reason you should do 5, which my top 5 is because
we have the same top
3, like, you can't just say 3 teams in the East are most likely. Like, no, like, one team in the East is probably more likely than your third opinion. So it combined both. For me, it's probably Bucks, obviously Celtics. Then it's Lakers, Warriors, and Nuggets. That's my top 5. Oh wait, I forgot about the Suns. Shoot.
My top 5 is
I'd probably switch Nuggets and Suns because I don't know. I still don't trust the Nuggets in the playoffs, but we'll see. I'll probably be so wrong on that.
Well, my top 5 is healthy Lakers. 1, they have LeBron, AD, and the best team in the league, best defense in the league, best role players in the league. Lakers 1. 2, Suns with healthy KD. I really think with healthy KD, the Suns can make it far because of their star power, their chemistry building up. I think that will be a good team, a team to beat. And then 3rd, I would say Uh. Well, yeah, the Bucks. The Bucks are like the same team as they were last year. They're probably the most experienced championship team right now with the whole team. They're a pretty old team. They're not old, but like they everyone is like 28 and up on that team. If you noticed, like the youngest players like Marjan Beauchamp, like they're a very like veteran built good team. I think it's gonna be tough for anyone.
Yeah, and I also really like the way Joe Ingles has been playing too.
Yeah, like they have Joe Ingles, who's old. Brooke Lopez, 34 years old. Drew Holiday, 34 years old. Chris Middleton's like 30. Giannis is 28. That's still very young, but in general, that is.
But they
an
also
old
have
team.
Grayson Allen.
He's 28.
Grayson Allen's oh my god, he does look younger, but at the same time,
Pat Connaughton, 30.
He was in college for like 4 years or 5 years.
Yeah, Pat Connaughton, 30. Like this team,
you're
not going to be seeing no rookie.
Tough.
You're not going to be seeing no rookie mistakes from this team. Like they're a team.
For me, I agree. The Bucks, I feel like they're the hardest to stop on both ends of the court, and yeah, they have the championship experience. They're healthy finally, and second, the Celtics. The Celtics, I'd put them over the Philly because I don't know. I just feel like Philly is still.
I'm putting Philly.
Philly still has me worrisome because of the coaching, because of
at the end of the day,
outside of Embiid and Harden, you never know how Tobias Harris is going to play, how PJ Tucker is going to be shooting that night, how the role players step up or not. And the Celtics, I feel like they do have a deeper team and their role players are better. In the West, the Suns, obviously, if Kevin Durant comes back, and they have a really star-heavy team. The Lakers, if LeBron's healthy, they're playing so good without him. If he comes back and they get out of the play-in. And the Warriors, I know a lot of people don't like this, but even without Wiggins, they still are a very good team. And they're going to get Gary Payton the second back.
Might not even get Gary Payton back. I just they're contenders.
Poole needs to be better. Poole needs to be better for them. But
they're literally calling for his head. You think he's like?
But honestly, yeah, it's either the Nuggets or the Warriors for my fifth team. And obviously, the Nuggets, they are deep. They're very deep. And the only reason that they're not 100% top 5 for me, because I don't know, I just feel like that they will drop a little in the playoffs.
The Nuggets,
unless Jamal Murray plays like he did the last time he was healthy in the playoffs.
At the same time, this is Jokic's best team ever
that he's ever had.
Yeah, like he has KCP, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. That's a scary
KCP needs to keep shooting that good in the playoffs,
and he's a good. I'm pretty sure he
same with Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. They're all shooting so well. They're the best. They're the best and most efficient offense in the league. They need to show that in the playoffs too. And if they do, the West, they'll probably win the West. But I'm not sure if they can keep up that same play in the playoffs. I don't know.
I feel it's just like Jokic. If he continues to guard like that, they're not doing shit.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But for now, a lot of people don't believe in the Nuggets, and I feel like they will prove everyone wrong.
I don't believe in the Nuggets.
They have the team. They have the team. They have the team. They have the MVP. So I don't know why, but we just don't believe in them. I hope they prove us wrong.
Jokic has to prove everyone wrong. Jokic is just like
Speaking of Jokic,
he's amazing. He just needs to prove himself in the playoffs.
Yeah, honestly,
he's proven everything in the regular season. He needs to prove everything in the off season now, in the playoffs.
Yeah, so speaking of Jokic, the recent MVP ladder was just dropped, and let's react to it. And Mev, put it up on your phone. Okay, so Mev, just read first. Who's first?
First, why is it the Kia MVP ladder? Is that the Kia like the car?
I think so.
Okay, that's very a random question, but I always wonder that. Okay, first, big surprise, Nikola Jokic, number 1. He has been there the whole entire season. Like, they can't, even if he has a bad stretch of games, they can't put him down. It's just illegal for Jokic to move out of the first place. It's set in stone. He's MVP now. Did you guys know that? Anyways. Second, Giannis. Giannis is second. That's actually very, are you sure this is
a very bad list.
Is this is like last week? Where's the most recent
No,
one?
that's the 7th.
It is the 13th. win.
No, that was 6 days ago. They're gonna put another one up tomorrow.
I could have sworn Embiid was
No.
the second and the most recent one. You're tripping.
Thank you for delaying that for no reason.
You're tripping right now.
And you don't know how long a week is. Anyways, second is Giannis, which I don't hate. I feel like he did play a lot less games than Jokic when I checked.
First, yeah.
So that's I don't hate that. I feel like Giannis, I was on his side for most of the year. I feel like Giannis as a two-way player is far ahead of Jokic.
Yes, he's miles better on defense and offense,
but just like impact-wise, I feel like Jokic has been more impactful this year.
Like the winning streak the Bucks had, Giannis didn't play every one of those games, and the Bucks can win without Giannis. They can fathom without Giannis.
Okay,
but
so
that's why Jokic is definitely ahead of Giannis in my opinion.
I just feel like Giannis also has a case over Jokic, but Jokic is always above him in these lists. But third is Jason Tatum. Yes, Jason Tatum. They put Jason Tatum over Joel Embiid. That's like you could see how disrespected Joel Embiid is. It's actually insane. Like this man can average 40 and no one would care. No one would care. And they'd still put Jokic above him in the MVP race. Like it's like really
Tatum,
bizarre.
Yes, he deserves to be like top 5 in the MVP race just because of how high the Celtics are in the standings. But at the same time, he does
if you put him over Joel Embiid, you must be on crack. Some really, really good crack.
Like he's averaging a hella amount of points, but he's also not been efficient. Plus, they have other good players on that team. The Celtics are still one of the best all-around teams in the league. So you can't expect them.
They have the audacity to put Joel Embiid fourth.
Like that's actually blasphemous. Blasphemous.
Right now, Philly only has one less win than the Nuggets, and Joel has missed Embiid for like a month and Maxey for like a month, and they still have. And then Jokic has had his team pretty much healthy the whole year.
Yeah, so
like don't talk to me about impact when Joel Embiid is literally just as impactful and he's putting up better numbers.
He's literally averaging like 34 points per game. You know how crazy that is as a center? He averages almost 11 more points per game than Nikola Jokic. That's not, and he's better at defense. He is
way better at defense too. I think that's a good enough case itself. Like, come on, he's scoring better and he's playing better defense. Obviously, people have that triple-double fever with Jokic, and he's the first center to do it, so I understand why a lot of people want him to win MVP. But at this point, I feel like there's been a stretch of games where Jokic has not been trying. You could just tell he could be a good defender. He could be a good defender if he tried, but at this point, how can you give it to him when Joel Embiid is playing amazing defense on a daily basis and scoring like 33 points with a god level efficiency that he is right now?
It's actually so crazy, like you just said. And plus, Jokic hasn't even been having the best March, and he's still number one.
It's so funny. Philly fans,
why is it so set in stone that Embiid? Why is it so set in stone that Nikola Jokic is winning it this year? I think that's not
honestly. Joel Embiid has been better. Like, it's just a fact. I don't care what anyone says. I'm gonna sound like Kendrick Perkins right now. It's the facts. It's the facts. He's better. He's better this year.
Yeah, like let me read you this.
Like, how can you not give the MVP to someone who's averaging 33 points on amazing efficiency, 10 rebounds, amazing defense? Like he would win it every other year that he's averaging these. But now since he's like, why does he always have to be second place to Jokic?
And all I hear is people
like, come on, why?
All I hear is people talk about like these advanced, like all I hear is people talk about these advanced stats from Jokic, but they pull up the most useless stats out there. The most useless ones. Like
they bring up Raptor. Like if I wanted to talk about dinosaurs, I'd go to the Stone Age. Like we don't care. Just watch the game. Not everything is about advanced stats.
Yeah,
like come on.
Like people will sit there and watch Jokic move to the side so somebody could score, and they're like, actually, according to these defensive stats, Jokic is the best defender in the league. Please
literally, it just shows you that advanced stats are there's no advanced stat that correctly measures defense. So if you see someone using a defensive stat, it's mostly team reliant. So you're always going to get some skewed stats, and literally, it just proves that because Jokic has amazing defensive stats. Like, come on.
Yeah, like
that shows he's a better defender than Giannis or let's say Embiid. which obviously is not true if you actually watch the game. Like,
yeah, like Joel. Also, even on offense, like Jokic is like offensive, like advanced stats.
the best
People talk about-
the best analysis you can do is just watching the games. And if you watch the games, you could just see that Embiid puts a lot more effort in, and he tries to win. Like, he puts a lot more effort in on both ends. It's just the facts. It is.
Yeah, and even let me read this tweet by Hoop Venue. He said Joel Embiid true shooting percentage of 64.8 is the highest mark of any 32 plus points per game season in NBA history. Nobody's talking about how Joel Embiid is literally making history. And then he's shooting 81% at the rim, 49% on long twos, 36% from three, and 85% from the line with a healthy diet of both self-created and off-ball plays. Unreal scorer.
And one of the best ever.
So why can't we just hand Joel Embiid the award when he's making history? But just because Jokic is averaging a triple-double, he just gets to have the award? And it's already set in stone. There's like literally 16 games left. And
the thing is, they don't get like the same media attention.
Literally, Jokic lost a game.
Embiid
and
is literally
Nobody cares.
Embiid is literally 4th on this list, which is the worst list I've ever seen in my life. Like a week ago, he's doing the same thing that he's doing right now, and tomorrow the new ladder is going to be posted. He'll be 2nd. Just watch, he'll be 2nd. What's the difference of what he was doing a week ago till now? Just the only reason they're going to change it up is because people are starting to push the Embiid MVP agenda. Everyone is now, because they just see that Embiid is playing better this season.
And literally, the Sixers are only 3 games behind the first seed. Only 3 games. That's nothing.
And have like the same record as the Nuggets. Like I mentioned before,
and that's all
Embiid has been carrying his team with injuries as well.
It's actually preposterous that he's not even considered like right there with Jokic. Like I'm not.
If we're being honest, Jokic has probably won at this point. They're just scared. They're scared. No, they're literally scared to give it to anyone else. They just have to give it to Jokic, which is like very like weird. If we're being honest, Embiid, I feel like Embiid should have won it. He should have won it already. Like he should have an MVP under his belt. Yeah, and I don't want to hear anything about seeding because Jokic literally won it as the 6th seed, and Embiid had a better seed, and they gave it to him anyways. So I don't even care when people now Nuggets fans are saying, "Oh, but he's averaging a triple-double and they're the 1st seed in the West." Now you care about seeding when you were literally trying to campaign for Jokic when he was the 6th seed and he ended up winning it that year over Embiid, who deserved it more.
And Jokic's best reasoning for winning MVP is like that he is the most impactful player in the league. But Embiid is clearing him in defense and scoring, so I just don't get and his Jokic, like we already talked about this, the analytics play tricks on you sometimes. Sometimes they always sometimes you could just tell who just doesn't watch games and only looks at stats, because they'll just tell you some bullshit like that makes like Jokic has the best defensive, like he has really good defensive stats. Oh, he's one of the best defenders in the league. When anyone with a brain knows that's not true. Anyways, let's go back to the list. So since we discussed Embiid and Jokic's cases and the contradictories between them, now obviously Tatum was 3rd. Obviously he shouldn't be 3rd. I feel like at most he should be 4th. Oh, no, actually 5th, because I feel Luka should definitely be 4th. At most, Tatum should be like 6th.
Luka's numbers are literally insane. Like he'll give you what Jokic can give you, but scoring a lot more. Like he'll give you a lot of rebounds, a lot of assists, but scoring a lot more.
I just don't understand. I mean, yes, Luka.
Obviously, Luka doesn't have nearly as good of a team as Jokic has, but
the thing with the MVP award that like confuses me as one day it's best individual stats, one day it's most impactful player. Like, what is it? Like, what is it at this point? It's always like the goalpost is always be moving around to benefit each and every player on their own. Like it just doesn't make sense.
I feel like the top 5 list should 100% be Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, Luka, and Tatum. I think that should be the top 5 for sure. And six is really number 6 here is really stumping me. It's Kevin Durant. How can you put Kevin Durant on the list? Like the dude abandoned his other team, which is not his fault, but he did. He was injured a lot this season. Hasn't played nearly as much as like anyone else on this list. And he hasn't even played for his new team that much.
And do you know who's not even on
this
list?
How is he on this list? He should not be on this list.
Do you know who's not even on this list?
Who?
Anthony Davis. Like
Um,
he's missed less games, and he's been helping the Lakers.
I wouldn't
win so
say
many games.
honestly.
He's not even
You
on this
can't
list.
give Anthony Davis. They're like
saying
not
he
even
should
in the
be on
plan right
here.
now.
It doesn't matter. Look at his stats. They're only 5 games behind the 6th seed.
I know, but
No, they're
you
only
can't
3
give
games
it,
behind the 6th seed.
But you can't give MVP to a team or give it consideration to a
So
person.
why is KD on this damn list? I'm just saying instead of KD, it should be Anthony Davis. It's not that
I
damn
also
serious.
think no. Listen, I also said KD shouldn't be on the list, but Anthony Davis should not be on the list either.
Yes, he should. Look at
Like
what the Lakers
Julius
are doing right
Randle
now.
is 7th. He should 100% be over Kevin Durant, just because he's led the Knicks more than KD has led any team this year, and he's putting up 25 and 10, and it has been very good. And Jalen Brunson should also be on this list because I feel like Jalen Brunson is just as valuable as Julius Randle is. What do you think about that?
I think Jalen Brunson is your best player. Did anyone even see what Julius Randle did without Jalen Brunson the other game?
Okay,
it was
chill.
actually disgusting.
Chill. He had like 1 or 2 bad games against the Lakers, he did amazing.
I didn't ask. I'm talking about his bad games.
But obviously, Jalen Brunson is our glue guy. Like, you can argue he is the most valuable. Maybe Julius Randle's our best player, but Brunson is our most valuable
Honestly,
player.
You're right. Maybe Julius is the best, but every team needs that glue guy. Like for the Bulls, it was Lonzo, and then when Lonzo got hurt, we fell apart. Like everyone needs that glue guy.
Brunson just makes everyone's lives a million times easier. Like the way this man carries an offense, he's just a mastermind. At the end of the day, he is.
Yeah, so Julius Randle was 7, 8. Domantas Sabonis. The Kings have won.
De'Aaron Fox should be on this list. He's just as valuable as Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, but for Domantas, he's literally. I mean, that's saying he's the best player on their team. I don't think he is the best player on their team, but maybe he's the most impactful player on their team. But Domantas,
it's just tough when Fox is like closing these games out for you on a daily basis, and I don't know. I just feel like they're like 1A and 1B. I feel like they're just as valuable, and they contribute like 70% of their team because they get everyone involved, and they're just so good. Yeah, I feel like Sabonis and Fox should be on the top 10 list too.
Yeah, and they have one.
Ja Morant shouldn't be. Ja Morant shouldn't be on this list, if we're being honest. I feel like Fox has been more consistent and deserves to be on this list.
Whoever made this list needs jail time anyways. Like, what is this list? It's horrible. Shea is having a crazy year, but he shouldn't be top 10 in the MVP race. Like you just said, what seed are the OKC's the 10th seed. OKC's literally the 10th seed. How the hell is he in the top 10 list?
But the difference is he's actually playing games, unlike Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis missed games, but so did KD, and KD's on this list.
The things that Shea is doing with this team, like if you ask people before the season started, the Thunder is like a lottery team. They're fighting for Victor Wembanyama, and over here they're tied. They could make the playoffs. There's a strong chance. And if you look at that team and you see what Shea is doing to elevate that team, and the way he's scoring and officiating everything, he's just amazing.
I mean, yeah, he's
and I feel
amazing. He's a top
I feel
10.
like he should definitely be on this list because Kevin Durant's on this list, which obviously Kevin Durant's amazing. Shouldn't be on this list though. Well, thank you for everyone for listening. If you want, you can comment down below on what you want us to talk about next week, and make sure you subscribe to all of our channels, our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.